We are in our accessible room. This is my best friend, one of my best friends, Stevie. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi, okay. So we are watching My Fair Lady this weekend, and we just wanted to document our accessible room. It's one of the new Premier Hub rooms, isn't it, Stevie?
Yes, it is.
And the hotel itself is okay. It's nice. Very big corridors, which Stevie loves because it makes it more accessible for us. But I had a bit of a nightmare booking the room because the room, well, first of all, they had a double bed, which is not a problem for Stevie, but it's a problem for me because we don't share a double bed. So I asked for a collapsible bed or like a little futon to perhaps go in the corner here. And what they did was, instead of putting in the extra bed here, was they gave us a twin. The accessible twin, which is great. There's not a problem. You were fine on the single bed in the end, weren't you?
Yes, it was.
So that wasn't an issue, but we had the bed is very low to the floor. Which is fine. Stevie doesn't have a problem with that, but there's no drop-down bar.
No.
No, we could have complained, but we just decided just to muscle through, because we take it as a learning experience.
Work with what you got.
Work with what you got, learn from it, and see what we need to remember next time for this type of hotel. However, they do have... Oh, you were going to say something?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. They do have the pulley cord right next to the bed, which is great. So, props to them for that, And they do have the call and reset button if there's an emergency. But there's no, in this accessible room, which I think is important to note for any other like wheelchair users who would need a drop-down bar or a pulley bar on the wall. They're in the actual room itself. There aren't any. And we couldn't get through to the accessible line, much to my frustration and
mine.
choice words, eh? Yeah. And we were actually given an email, and so I communicated it in the email, and they just swapped us out to a twin room. But anyway, hey ho. So it is what it is, but the bathroom is pretty good. So we'll just show you the bathroom quickly. So it's a sliding door. Made of glass. A bit of a pain in... It's a bit heavy, but other than that, it's pretty good. So for the bathroom, there's no bath, but they do have the drop-down seat and 2 drop-down handlebars plus 2 fixed to the wall handlebars. So it is actually really accessible. There's no dip down. There is a little well in the middle from where they... from where the water needs to drain, and then there's a bar here which I've hung my towel over because Stevie won't use that bar, and then there's 2 at the mirror and 1 here at the toilet, and there's a drop down one and another pulley bar in behind. Don't forget the inconvenient shower curtain. Oh, right, yes, we have an inconvenient shower curtain. So, and then there's a pulley, emergency pulley on both sides next to the toilet and the drop-down bar. But what Stevie's referring to with the with the shower curtain is, so the shower curtain's lovely. It pulls across really nice, but then you go back to here and it stops. And you can't pull it beyond that point there, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, because if he needs to use the toilet, or I need to help him with something, I'm basically sitting with a shower curtain, ain't I?
Yeah.
I had the shower curtain draped over me today, but yeah, I mean, overall. The room is modern, it's very modern, and all it's lacking really is the drop-down bar so that Stevie can get out in and out of bed instead of... What did you do last night?
I flopped into bed.
He flopped into bed, like face planted.
Yeah. But feel free to mention our idea with my wheelchair and you sitting on the chair so that I can get.
Oh yeah. So it actually took Stevie longer to get into bed than it did to get out of bed, and normally it's the other way around, isn't it? It normally takes you longer to get out of bed. So in order for Stevie to get out of bed, because the bed is so soft, there's no resistance in the bed at all. To the point of where, like, my back was in such a bad position, I ended up snoring last night, didn't I, Stevie? And I don't really snore. I was doing a Stevie, but yeah. So that green chair, which was originally over here, but we've moved it over there just so Stevie can move around. But that green chair, I had to move it over here and then sit on it so that Stevie could use it to pull himself up.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I know we're laughing, and that seems really bad because that we're laughing at, disability and stuff. But the thing is, if you don't laugh at it, you cry.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's a relatively new hotel, so there are things that they can work on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought we would. Well, I asked Stevie if I could document this, but because it's really funny.
Yeah.
But it's also good for other people to know.
Yeah. One final word, if I may, very short.
Yeah.
It's the obviously I know that disability is a serious issue and there's a serious positive message, but we're doing it with the comedy effects as well.
Yeah. We don't even though disability is a serious issue, to the best part, we also do our best to laugh at what we can about it. And that seems really bad, but like I say, if you don't laugh, you cry. And if you want to knock me, that's fine, but just remember, I also have a disabled parent, and I had a disabled grandparent, so and a disabled auntie. So I grew up around disability, so I always see the funny impact around it. And I mean, we've had all sorts of experiences in the past. Anyway, we'll cut this one off. We're going to go and watch My Fair Lady today, so we will post a review on that. But yeah, until later. Bye-bye.
Bye.